everybody.
Hello.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get you mid-cough. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Do you need a glass of water?
No, I think, well, it might be nice to have one on hand, but it's too late now. I guess we today had this experience where I had given my credit card to my eldest daughter because she said she needed to buy an under-the-bed drawer for her
storage unit.
A storage unit, but she said it was like a drawer, like a pull-out. All right, it's a storage unit to go under the bed. And she told me that's what she needed my credit card for, and her credit card's not working for some reason. So I said, yeah, fine. But that is what you're using it for, I'm assuming. She said yes. And then a little bit of time passed by, and she was off on her travels, looking for storage units. And then I bump into you at some point later in the morning, having just got back from a chore that I had to run, or an errand I had to run, I should say, not
What's
a chore
the
that I had to run. Do you run chores or do you run errands?
I guess you run errands.
So I ran an errand, and then I bumped into you, and she said, "Did you cashier your credit card?" And I said yes. And then you looked at me as I was stark raving mad. And then I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because
She said, you're talking about me.
You said that she's buying all these different things. She's buying all these things. Different in the sense of different from what I'd heard from her right off the bat."
Well, what happened was she asked me, she's going off to college, and Bed Bath & Beyond, little plug for Bed Bath & Beyond, has a list for each college of suggested items to bring with you.
It's like a wedding list.
Yes, it's kind of like a wedding
A registry.
list. A registry. So I got the list from Bed Bath & Beyond, which is like a whole page full of 3 columns of items of purchasing.
That you don't need to buy.
Right, things to buy. And she called me and said that she was at Bed Bath & Beyond and they didn't have a copy of the list, and could I send her the list? And so I scanned the list and sent it to her, and then I said, well, how are you buying things from this list? And she said, Daddy gave me his credit card. And so then I'm like, oh. And then I asked you about it.
Right. To which I was incredulous. Because my understanding was that it was just going to be used for this one item, and lo and behold, she's going on what appears to be a bit of a spending spree.
Yes.
So in my shock and horror upon this discovery, I guess I was shouting, what on earth is she doing? Or words to that effect. I can't recreate the drama of that moment, but I guess I got very heated very quickly because I was outraged that, having had this very formal agreement about what the card would be used for, it was then being used for other purposes in a very extensive way. I could only surmise, and so I guess I raised my voice. Would you say I was shouting?
Yes. I think I said, "Why are you shouting at me?"
Right.
And then you said, "I'm not shouting at you." I said, "Well, who are you shouting at?"
I said I'm just shouting.
No, you said I'm shouting at her, and I said, "Well, she's not here."
Right.
I said, "You're shouting at me."
And for some reason, you always seem to take that very personally. I don't know why I would be shouting at you when obviously it's not your fault or your doing, but I was just venting in the moment.
Another moan.
It was a very advanced form of moan. It was a shouting. Does shouting qualify as a moan, or is it just a high octane moan?
Octane moan.
I had a high octane momentary moan.
Well, what I find...
But you took it really personally. Not so personally. You were there was a bit of a sense of humour around it today. A little bit. A soupçon.
I was incredulous.
But in the past, you've been really upset if I go on one of those rants when it's nothing to do with you.
But what I found I was incredulous about was that when I said, "Why are you shouting at me?" you tell me you're not shouting at me when you are.
But I'm not shouting. I'm shouting, but I'm not shouting. It's not aimed at you. It's just friendly fire as far as you're concerned.
You're shouting, looking directly at me, shouting at me.
Well, it's because you've delivered the information. But I'm not It's not like. that would be. That's the trick. That's what happens when you have a husky. It's like living with a bull in a china shop. Get off. It's time for a WALK. So he's getting all antsy. Anyway, what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted was that I'm not shouting at you per se. I'm shouting. You're in close proximity, and I may even have eye contact with you. But I guess you have to understand. I feel like you should understand that it's not aimed at you. It's aimed at another party. And I guess I feel like I need to shout at someone. Someone needs. Someone. It's like you're a stand-in. You know, actors have stand-ins on movie sets. I guess you're my stand-in for a cashier in those moments. That's all you are. You have to be comfortable being a stand-in.
No, I don't.
All right, or you don't.
I don't have to be comfortable, and I don't have to be a stand-in.
You don't want stand-in work. Okay, no, well, I can see that, and my intention is to mend my ways on that front. And I guess, you know, at that point, I did see the funny side. I feel like there used to be some character on a British sitcom who would do exactly that. His wife would deliver quite innocent information about someone making some kind of transgression or other, and then this character would start shouting. And she would feel like she was really on the receiving end of it and take it really personally.
Well, you mean you're actually acknowledging that you're becoming like Victor Meldrew in your old
that's
age.
who it was. Yes. I don't know if anybody will know that.
From 1 foot in the grave.
That's right. My goodness, you've got a good memory. Well, my intention is not to become Victor Meldrew. My intention is to mend my ways on that front, and I will stop exposing you to my wrath or the wrath that I feel towards other people in the moment. My arm's starting to ache now.
And maybe
I'm not very good at this.
Maybe also be forewarned if you give your credit card to a teenager.
Yes, I won't do that again in a hurry.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Take care. Bye.